Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Agency Life. It's Clodagh here from the Grow It Group. Doing a little solo episode. Recording this at sort of the middle of March 2020, but you can listen to this anytime. Right now, we've got a bit of a health thing going on. There's a coronavirus scare going on all around the world, and obviously we have to take care of ourselves and look after ourselves. And so what I'm doing in this video, if you're watching it on YouTube, or if you're listening to it, you can go ahead and write down any of the points here, or head on over and you can actually get the slides on YouTube. But I'm going to talk about how to create a work from home policy for your agency. Now, most agencies have been doing this, but a lot of them haven't got round to it. They were like, oh, you know, we'll get round to doing work from home maybe later on this year. But now you might have to fast forward that, because there might be some instances where maybe there's somebody in your business and their school has been shut down and they have to go and work from home. And so let's get into this and see how we can set this up really quickly for your agency. The first place we've got to start with is, when you're working from home, you've got to look at like the benefits and the challenges. So there's obviously, like I said, this could be because you have to do it, but let's think about the wider context. It is actually a really good benefit to offer somebody who's coming to work for your agency. A lot of people are looking for this. Today, there's external factors that could be forcing you to do it quickly, but it doesn't mean that you can't still cover the essentials. There are some challenges in here too, but namely around, is everyone comfortable? Do people feel safe and happy? Are they able to be productive? And are they working to their full potential? To make sure everything runs smoothly, it's a really good idea to establish an agency policy for working from home for all staff. Now, there's no one size fits all, but this can help you just create some guidelines. Let's get this done really quickly, because maybe next week you might have to have some employees, or maybe it could be the building. We've heard of instances where buildings are saying everyone has to work from home. So let's get stuck into it. First place to start is, when the person who's working from home, they need to have a dedicated workspace. So it can't be the kitchen table where people are eating. Need to get a dedicated workspace. So ideally invest in a desk, prioritize natural light, buy a lamp so that you can actually see what you're doing. Get a good supportive chair that doesn't hurt your back. And I always recommend adding some personal effects, like plants and photos, and maybe even a cuddly toy or something to just make it feel homely for you. Not only is it better for productivity, and comfortable sitting position is really important for your back, so that you can focus and you're not worried about that. The next one you look at is to create a morning routine. So because you're not now getting up and to commuting, you haven't got your normal routine, it's time to create a work from home routine. So maybe if you're fasting, you might start with a breakfast it could be coffee, it could be some lemon water, or a herbal tea or something like that if you're fasting. Or if you're actually ready to have some breakfast, you enjoy having breakfast in the morning, you can do that. So starting off with breakfast, I always recommend creating a work from home uniform. So you might not need the amount of layers to go outside, depending on where you live, but set up outfits that you are comfortable in at home, but also make you feel like you're going to be working. PJs, not really ideal, but maybe it's a comfortable tracksuit, something warm, but you're like, okay, this is me, I'm going into this, I'm changing from my pajamas, I'm putting on my work uniform, I'm working from home. Maybe before you start the day, looking at some mindfulness techniques, some meditation to ground you and get you focused on what you're going to achieve that day. Ideally, switch off your phone for personal messages, maybe even for blocks of time. So you might need the phone for to be connected to family. There could be something going on in your life, but if you could block it off for maybe 45 minutes, an hour at a time, you can set them batch times for working. So you might start off the day going, okay, I have to tackle this particular project. I'm going to get into it for 60, 90 minutes. I'm going to switch my phone off, switch Slack off, and get focused on it. Um, I always say, eat the frog first. So look at your day and actually go, okay, what's the biggest thing I've got to tackle? Let's get stuck into that first. And then maybe after you've made a dent in that, you can look at your emails, you can check your phone, and then you can move on. It's really important for everyone in the office to have access to all of the files. So hopefully by now, it's not going to be unusual for any of these to be already in your business, like Dropbox or Google Drive. Keep all your passwords secure, like using something like LastPass. Make sure everyone can access all the files and projects from anywhere. Now, before you branch out into working from home, it might be a good idea to get a bit of a power hour going on with the team, tidy up the folders, make sure people have access, make sure things are secure that need to be secure. There might be a good, like maybe do a working lunch and get everyone involved and go, right, let's tidy this up before we all head off and start working from home. The next thing is communication. I really do need to agree what hours are people going to be available on your channel. So for example, if you're using Slack, and I hope most of you are, because it's an incredible tool for connecting everyone in the office, especially if you're working remote. So what hours are you going to agree? Is there going to be a login 9 o'clock? Maybe it's a stand up, a huddle or a meeting. It could be kicking the day off, but then there's going to be people are going to go off and do their work for a couple hours, but maybe back on again at 12 for an hour, back on again in the afternoon to wrap things up. When are you going to agree that you might have to be offline for a while because you're focusing on something, or when you're going to be online? Look at doing text messages, for urgent things. Maybe you set up a WhatsApp group and you want to maybe get in touch with somebody quickly, but you know that their Slack is down, so you might be able to get them on the phone. Definitely, Zoom is just fantastic for meetings. It's an incredible tool that we've been using for a very, very long time. Um, and you can switch on the video, you can see everyone's eyes, you can read their body language, and you can really connect with people, especially if you're going to have to work from home for a few weeks. Definitely talking face to face, it improves, having Zoom really improves that, and it boosts collaboration. So meetings can be one of the biggest challenges for those who work at home and sometimes feel disconnected, but with Zoom and the video cameras on, you can bring everyone together, maybe first thing in the morning, last thing before you sign off for the day, and set up those cadences of those meetings as well. Make a schedule and stick to it. Like look at maybe Sunday night or Monday morning, looking at the week ahead and go, right, what do I need to do? And then every day, what are the 3 to 5 things that you're going to tackle that day? Planning is the key to success when working from home, from creating a weekly list of objectives and picking them off. There's no such thing as too much structure when it comes to getting things done when you're working from home as a working remote. You really can have lots of lists around and reminders, and maybe it's even post-it notes to go get up and stretch, whatever it is. So get those written lists as well, or maybe you prefer putting them in your calendar and you actually have them so that you can tick them off. Next, schedule your to-dos. So be realistic. Look at your online calendar and go, okay, I'm starting in the morning. We've got our team meeting from 9 to 9:15. From 9:30 until 11 o'clock, put it in your diary. What are the things that you're going to do? Try and switch off all the distractions. You can use an app to track your progress. If you're not already using time tracking in your agency, now's a really good time to start looking at that and implementing it in with your project management too. We love Monday.com. We've been using that for a long time in our project management. And then you look at a time tracking to, okay, I'm going to spend an hour on that. And maybe you get it done in 45 minutes and you can take a break and go for a bit of a stretch or a walk or have a cup of coffee. But definitely meetings and booking things in is really, really important to do. So if in the unlikely event, that we have to all work from home for an extended period of time, obviously that's it's going to be forced on you. But say in the instance where um, it's it's not a necessity that you're actually setting this up as a proactive thing to do in your business, you need to set up like an idea for information on who can work from home and when. So what days would you ideally love people to all be in the office? Is that Mondays and Fridays? But you're flexible about Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays that people can work from home. What are the best days? And agree on everyone. Maybe Monday you've got your team meeting to kick off the week. Maybe Friday it's a wrap up of the week. So there's days that you would ideally prefer people to be in the office and making that clear with everyone. What's going to be the process for requesting working from home? How are you going to set that up? Like I said, we're talking about two sides here. You might be forced to have to send everyone home for various different reasons that out of your control. But in the event of actually, no, we're proactively organizing this, going, okay, what's the process? So if I wanted to work from home, who would I talk to? Do I fill in a form? Do I speak to my manager? Do I do both? And where is it documented? You really want to see a shared calendar. Maybe it's up on the wall or on a screen, or there's a dedicated calendar that everyone knows, okay, I know today Jack works from home on a Tuesday. It's written that he's working from home. So when you go in, you don't have to check on people because there's been a form, the manager knows, and there's a shared calendar. And next, you want to set some expectations for the working hours and the meeting attendance that you expect. Yes, people are working from home, but you expect them to be on the morning meeting. You have to set the times that you expect people to be online. Is it 9 to 5? What are the core hours? What are the office hours? What are your minimum expectations? Are going, I need to see, the Slack on and people checking in, or it could be you can set up automated things with Slack called Howdy, which would ping everyone a question going, hi, how are you feeling today? What are you working on today? And it collects all the answers so you can actually get people's interaction. But agreeing those times and what offline hours is, it is okay. Maybe, like I said, if you want to work on something specifically from 9:30 to 11, people know that in the mornings, there'll be some limited messaging over and back on Slack because everyone has gone into their projects and they're working on specific things. Now, if you're dealing with multiple time zones, when will people start late to work with a different time zone? So perhaps, you might be in Scotland and you're working with the States. You might start at 2 o'clock and work on at past 6, maybe 7 o'clock, depending on what you agree, what works for you. So you might be kind of on a bit of a shift work. I actually did something similar like that when I first started working in HubSpot. I was looking after the Australian market. So my day started at 4 in the morning. It was meant to stop at 2, but it never ever did. I ended up kind of working all the hours. So you can get into a bit of a shift work, but that's agreeing with somebody. So then maybe somebody goes, oh, that's great. I want to start at 2 o'clock because in the morning I can go to the gym, I can go and do all the things that I want to do, and then I will start. Maybe they'll sleep in till 9 o'clock and start their day at 9, or somebody, and that might suit somebody because they might be a bit of a night owl. Contrary to that, there might be someone who does like getting up early in the morning and working early. So agree the time zones, and that might not be for everyone, but you can see you will overlap in the middle of the day. There'll be people coming online from 2 to 5. You're going to have everyone online if you're working in that way. And then finally, as a summary, you can all do this, even if you have to set this up really, really quickly. These are just some starting tips. What I'd actually suggest to you to do would be to get a Google Doc and start with these tips, get them all down, and share it with everyone in the team. And over the course of a couple of days, you could actually collaborate and set the rules, then have a meeting with everyone in the team and go, right, as you know, we all have to work from home. We've set up some guidelines. Is everyone happy with them? Great. Does everyone sign off on them as a team? So even though there's things out of our control, that you might be forced to have a work from home policy, don't worry, you can set it up really, really quickly and you can get everyone productively working from home. And if this is something you're listening to way past in the future because we've got over the coronavirus and hopefully everyone is well, yes, you can still set, I really recommend setting up a work from home policy for your agency. It's an incredible tool for people who are looking to work in your business, because it's actually an advantage if you can say, yeah, we absolutely, you can work from home one day a week. That could be the difference between somebody choosing your business over somebody else's. I hope you've enjoyed these tips. If you have any questions at all for me, please drop me a line at clodagh@growitgroup.com. And if you're looking for any help in your agency at all, you can always drop me a line or book some time with me. I'm always happy to help if there's things that you need some help with in your business. That's what I love to do. Take care and have a great day.